Well, hello, good evening. That music was going on a bit too long, in my opinion. I think I did a very bad edit early on in a mad panic, but it's all good, and it's happy Friday. How you doing, Robert? You all good?
Well, I'm going to apologize in advance. I'm all over the place. I just it's been a week.
Yeah,
Stress levels were very high. Uh, Also, the just to get through the storm, to get through the everybody being okay, and for all those that aren't, just it's an emotional thing for me because we live here. We know what that was like, and
yeah,
and it's just you have to take each day as it comes, and you have to take each day for what it is, and you have to remember all these things. But those catastrophic events are life changing for people. Some for good, some for bad.
yeah. Well, the good news is our friend Steve Dimmock is alive and well. From I understand, they've had a little bit of damage, more so in the world of internet and electricity. And our love and thoughts go out to everyone in Florida who've got hit by the eye of the storm. I was following it because obviously I've got Robert there and Steve Dimmock, and it's quite scary. I mean, the UK don't really experience things like that in the UK. I know that there was a year when a famous weatherman called Michael Fish, you can look him up on YouTube, went there's no such thing as a hurricane, and then suddenly all these trees were flattened and all sorts of things happened. But I'm glad that you know our friends are well and safe, and thoughts and prayers go out to those that either lost loved ones or situations happened over there where they haven't got homes, and I can't imagine what they're going through.
No, the biggest thing now, from what they were saying is it's after the storm.
Yeah,
There's always fatalities. I mean, there's 12 fatalities already that to count, but that's going to increase. But the after the storm fatalities are usually 2 to 3 times as many as during the storm from people that step in the wrong place or get hit by electric that they didn't know was live and all these other things. So be very, very careful if anybody's watching.
yeah.
They're probably not watching because they probably don't have power.
Mm.
But we're so glad that Steve is okay. We're so glad that I had people from South Florida all the way to Orlando, family members, and also in my son is in South Carolina. Got hit last. It was down to a Category 1, but luckily he's all fine, and that's what's unique about these things. And for those that don't know what a hurricane is, it's just a giant tornado. But the giant tornado spins off all kinds of small tornadoes. So we had tornadoes in our neighborhood that had nothing to do with the hurricane as far as where the location was. But those smaller tornadoes tore things up. They broke windows, they took down trees, they damaged cars, and they're a randomized hit and miss type of thing. So, anyways, that's enough about the storm. We're going to push forward. You guys see the damage on the news, and everywhere in the world there's some kind of catastrophe, a tsunami, a earthquake, mudslides, snow, whatever. It's just there's all kinds of different things for different places.
Yeah.
So what does that lead to? It leads to me saying, are you doing everything you want to get done? Because if Steve and I got hit by a hurricane tomorrow and we weren't here to help you guys move forward, are you happy with the progress where you're at? Are you building enough sites? Are you getting the things done? Because you don't know what tomorrow brings, and we want to see you all have the success that you want. So are we writing down our goals? Are we achieving our steps towards our goals? Are we doing the things that we should be doing every day to proceed as far as we can to move everything forward? And that's my thoughts for all of you today, because like I said, we don't know what tomorrow brings. We don't know what technology is going to change to tomorrow. So let's really stay focused on, we know we can build quickly. We know we can rank sites. We know we can do these things, but are we doing all the right things for the best of our own business every day? That's the real question. I don't want you to answer. I just want you to answer it for yourself. Are we dipping our toe in the water, or are we going to dive all the way in and getting these things done?
I'm just fixing a problem, Robert, because once
we
again,
don't we don't have problems. We only have solutions.
one stream has let us down on and dropped out on 2 of the feeds. So is there anything else you want to natter about quickly while I just fix that?
Oh, I just natter. That's all I do. I'm thankful for all of you. I really am. I'm thank you for all the people that support us. I'm thankful for so many more things than I was last week, because you get a whole new sense of direction. And Steve and I are working on our secret projects that I can't tell you about, but they're all very exciting. And you can build sites in minutes. You really can. Because we've been doing it. We've been testing certain things to make sure all the downloads are working correctly. We're moving forward on new dimensions of Done For You Magic Themes. And the big picture that we have mentioned, we are totally going to develop that. So we're going to be build, rank, and rent. It's just going to be one inclusive package of that's what has to happen. And the focus has to be on onboarding. We know we can build quick. We don't have to rank right away. That we can have the clients on board and then rank and then upsell. So the onboard is going to be a big part of the package for all of us to work on. And I see stuff online all the time. I'm sure you guys do too. The shiny bullets or packages or shiny objects are constantly coming out where the promises are made to do this, to do this, to do this. The reality is all of it is work. So I think my personality and like Lynn's personality is probably very similar. Bob is more outgoing. So the outgoing people that have a different personality have a different way of marketing to their onboarding process versus the introverts that don't want to pick up the phone. So I think the inclusive onboarding package is doing a number of probably 6 to 8 different things that you could be doing, picking 3 of the ones that most fit your personality. And if that doesn't make sense, it's like this. Are you gonna be the type of person that's gonna pick up the phone and dial the phone numbers of all the leads that you have? Or are you gonna be the type of person that can send that person an email, a message chat, or something different that they have to look at your information before they talk to you? And if we have all of these things in place and you have a choice of picking 2 to 3 different things that you're going to focus on, because it's you got to pick 3 out of the 8 that you're going to do on a consistent basis to make that happen. And I think that really is the forward direction of Done For You Magic Themes. Not to say that we're going to make the introverts do the things that they don't want to do. We're going to give them the choices of the things that they want to do. And it's making the right choices and proceeding forward with it that will do the onboarding for you if all the things are in place. But I guarantee you this, if you're not doing something to onboard the clients, they're not going to drop from the sky to you. You have to make the motion to get them because they're busy. We're going to do everything in our power, which we already have started that in the themes themselves, to make them see you, to make you become visible from the websites. But the people you're really going after are the ones that need a website, and they have to be searching for that need to find you. So we have to turn the scale and come back around to they're not looking for you, but you need to become visible to them, and that's what onboarding really is. You getting in front of them to make them realize, hey, I could use this kind of service. I could use these type of things. I could grow my business if I had this. And that's the next third phase for DFY Magic Themes, to make sure you have all those tools in place to make sure that we can get, the goal is to have the clients on board paying for your services, and then you upselling all your other services that you want to do. That's the real goal.
As always, some reason it doesn't want to go live in our inner circle group, so I'm just going to quickly grab a link, Robert, and share the link to everyone in the group who wants to come in, and we'll try and get a replay up in the week. Technology, things always seem to break for some reason, and but at least we're not having the same sort of problems that people are having when they don't have any electricity or internet. That they can't contact loved ones, so it must be a complete nightmare for them also at the moment.
Well, I'm going to share a screen real quick, if that's okay.
Yeah.
This just boggles my mind. I'm sorry, guys. I'm on this mode of the hurricane because it's just so close to home. Are you seeing my screen?
Yeah.
For all of you looking at that, think about it for a minute. That's a 2x4 that's impaled a small palm tree. And these are the things why they created, it might even be a 2x6, I don't know. But the reality is they created for hurricane impact windows what they call a 2x4 cannon that shoots 2x4s at 150 miles an hour plus at windows several times to test the impact, how many impacts it takes to break those windows. That's what an impact window is supposed to do for these storms. That if flying debris is coming at the windows at 150 miles an hour, like a 2x4, that it doesn't actually go through the window. This is a big deal. And this is what has caused so much of the damage when these things are happening. That's what's these 2x4s, as the roof sheeting is being ripped off, the next thing are the trusses, and the trusses become 150 mile an hour spears going to the next house. And they go through block walls, they go through windows. It's just, the statistics of it hitting you are very, very low, but that's what's happening during a storm. And that's why, you hide from the wind and run from the water. But I see these things and go, can you even imagine being anywhere near that in a house when these things are flying around? And like Don said, coconut, same thing. And the roofing is also coming off, the not only the asphalt shingles, but the actual cement shingles. The roofing site is done. I don't know that it's in the members area.
Not quite yet. And I'm just going to share my screen now. What have I lost? Oh, I know why.
The reality is, the roofing, the roofers, I'm going to say, are not going to be not looking for marketing sites at the moment. Their phone is going to ring off the hook.
Yeah.
For the next storm, we're going to head towards more bleeding neck problems. We're going to go to storm-driven damage, because right now, I don't care who you are as a roofer. If your first name starts with roof, they're calling you because they need you. I mean, the entire state has just been wiped. There won't be roofing materials available.
So, can everyone see this the window with the roofing site? Okay, can you see that, Robert?
Yes.
Right. So, one of the things that comes up time and time again, and WordPress has done a weird update. and I thought it was something on the hosting, but then I've tested it on other hosting companies, and we get the same problem. When you update your admin email or you're filling in a web form with our themes, or in fact anything with WordPress, if you're not receiving an email to your admin email address, which is the one that web forms in WordPress would send, or if you need to do an email address change under settings in general of WordPress, this is what you need to do. Let me just bring up my chat window again, because I know I sent Robert a message earlier. There we are. That's what I want. Copy that. And right. So in under plugins, we're going to add new, and we're going to search for the following one, which is WP Easy SMTP, and it's here. If I remember the right one, WP Easy. Yes, it will be that one. So all you need to do is just click on the install button, activate it, and you're done. Plain and simple. That's all you need to do. You don't need to come in and do any settings, and you'll start receiving your admin emails again. It's a weird error in WordPress. I don't know if they're actually aware of it. It says up here, please configure your settings. You don't have to. I've played around by just installing it, and it starts sending again. So if any of you have any issues with any WordPress site whatsoever, and you're not receiving emails into your admin email address, that's what you need to do. All right. Your admin email address will be different, most likely, than your user one sometimes. So it's under settings in general. And it's the same thing if you then choose to change this email address here to a new one, and this says pending, it'll say here pending the change, and you go and check your emails and it hasn't come in. That's the plugin you need to add into WordPress to resolve that. So that's Easy WP SMTP, and that will help you guys with that. So
and test it
yeah.
So that you are getting those emails.
So this is the roofing site, and this is pretty much there. I've gone over it, and I'll be adding it over the weekend to the members area. Taking a little bit longer than expected to get this to where we want it to be, but we are there now, and we've got some big changes in the background of these sites coming up as well, which is what Robert said earlier. So this we added over the weekend for you guys, and those that have access to it in their previous membership, it'll be downloaded, and those that don't, you have to purchase it. So I think that's all we wanted to go over that, wasn't it, Robert?
Richard said that's his plumber. He's absolutely right. This guy is busy, man.
He does everything.
He goes from plumbing to roofing to
oh dear. Oh, right, let's make sure that I am lined up, because I know that I'm gonna have to try something different next week, Robert, than try and use two different programs, because it's all fun tonight, and I was trying something new out, and when you try something new out, it breaks it, doesn't it?
Well, in all transparency, we're totally off our game. It's been, like I said, a week of very strange things going on, and then on top of it, the peak of me not being myself and all the things going on is we had more support tickets in the last week than I think we've had in the last 2 months.
I've certainly known about that, Robert.
It's just like, holy bananas. And it's email. It's the things that are going on that we weren't aware. But here's the email thing coming at us from, we're thinking first of it's us, then we find out it's not us. It's many hosting companies. So it could be other hosts as well. We've tested a couple of their hosting companies, and they're having the same problems with the emails not coming out, as Stephen already showed you how to fix it. So that's one of the things, and it's just been a barrage of different things. And as always, we get to our tickets, if you don't get a response in, I'm going to say 2 days, 48 hours, something's wrong.
Yeah.
We will respond something. Either we're working on it, we're going to get to you, or something is needed to be answered by you before we can continue. And you know, maybe that was part of things too. That if the admin email is the email that you're counting on, maybe you're not getting our responses. But if you don't hear something within 48 hours, there's a problem. Message at that point.
Yeah.
Submit another ticket. What's going on with the first ticket so that we can look at it. We have to get any issues that you guys have in a support ticket queue. That's going to be the priority, because as we go forward and we have more people on the support desk helping us per se, if we don't have control over where your questions are, where you need help, that's the only way we can do it. We can only do it by support tickets. Getting messages to go look at this and go do that and do this other thing, it's just not going to be a good business model for us. We want to make sure you get taken care of in the order that you should be taken care of. So the tickets are that queue. It's no different than going to the deli and getting a number to get your cold cuts. The person that has the first number in is going to get the response the quickest. And we'll respond to that number first. Would it be the first one to get fixed? It depends on what the problem is. But that support ticket has got to go in for you guys to get in the queue for us to start looking at what the issues are. And then we get back to you as soon as possible. Either we'll fix it, we'll send you an answer or a request to do something or more information to fix what you need, but you'll get a response, and then we'll go forward from there. We'll either do a recording, we'll send you a picture of the changes that were made, whatever it takes to do a Zoom call, whatever. But that's how we're going to handle this. So we love messages. We love to hear from people, but it's not the best business model for us to get back to you by Steven getting a message, or I get a message, or both of us get a message, and then we don't know who's responding to who anymore. It's got to be in the support ticket system.
I agree. And the other issue as well, this week was an unexpected week, because our guys that look after the servers for the hosting are in Florida. Greg's in Florida. Robert's in Florida. I'm in the UK. So I went with a team of people behind me down to myself. And to be honest, I ended up getting up early in the morning to get the kids to school. I was getting into my office at 9. I was working till about 3 o'clock, going to get the kids, bring them home, back out here again until tea time, and then back out here again till 1 a.m. dealing with various things, keeping everything going. So it's been an exhausting week. And when Robert disappeared offline because of internet issues and bits and pieces, and then Greg disappeared, and then the entire server team went. I went, but we managed to get through some issues that people have been having. And the team is now gradually building back up with the server team, so they're getting back to some normality. The poor chap, they got one other guy elsewhere in the USA on the server team, and he was inundated with tickets on his own. He messaged me to say, "Look, Steve, if you don't get a response straight away, it's because I'm on my own as well." And I went, "Just do what you can while you can." So for Monday, things will pick back up, and we'll be back on track. I've been working through tickets left, right, and centre, and trying to look after everybody the best I can. Hopefully, those that have had issues, most of them have been resolved, and I know there's 1 or 2 tickets in there that are still bothering me, and I want to get a look at them over the weekend. And then on Monday, I have my full server team back with me, and it means that I can work on some more complicated ones. So I know there's 1 or 2 jobs in that a bit more complicated for various reasons, and we'll get there as well. But we appreciate you guys. You guys have been so patient with us and understanding. No one would have thought. Last Friday when we were talking, that between Friday and now there would have been a hurricane hitting the USA. You just couldn't have seen it.
It was forecasted. It just you don't know where it's going to go. They start. I think that the forecast started September 20th. So 10 days of forecasting where that was gonna come around, but
yeah. But then you could, we're
it's not world news until it hits.
Yeah. For you guys, you're probably used to it, Robert, where you're getting updates all the time. And I was quite surprised to see an entire channel for the weather on YouTube, and I was following it. And 1 minute it's going towards Steve Dimmick, the next minute it's going towards Robert, and the next minute it's just after that it just went straight down the middle and died out gradually. So it's one of those things. But we're going to say goodbye to the free channels, and then
stay safe out there, everybody. Don't play around. It's not time yet. Let the people that are doing the search and rescue do what they do. It's common sense, but the things you don't think about, Steve, before we leave everybody. I didn't think about it until somebody mentioned it. Where do all the critters go? Right? So you've had all this driving, flooding rain and all the water in Florida. You have big reptiles. You have alligators. You have big snakes. You have poisonous snakes. They all get flooded, and guess where they end up? In a lot of these flooded houses.
Wow.
So you start going to start clearing debris, and there's snakes underneath it. I didn't think about that before. Yeah. All of these things come into play, and no, it's a horrific thing to go through, and the natural disasters like this are just, they weigh heavy on how many people are affected, and animals and the whole thing.
But that's what it is. Anyway, anyone who's in the free group, good night. I'm going to play into the Facebook free groups. That's why we're trying new technology. The good night tune, and the people in Zoom won't actually hear that tonight. So night Facebook.